Guys, Ritual Beast sucks. I'm sorry to say it. After the ban list, they banned Appaloosa, they got rid of 2 Prosperity. Now the deck just dies to Nibiru, right? And it's virtually unplayable. Right? What if I told you that Ritual Beast could beat Nibiru with a single Cannahawk? Would you believe me? Because that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. Welcome back to what could just be the most requested topic I have been asked to do since the September ban list, and it is, Jojo, how do you beat Nibiru with Ritual Beast now? And well, I'm going to do just that. This idea that Nibiru beats Ritual Beast is simply untrue, and I'm going to prove that to you in this video. Firstly, I'm going to show you my updated deck list that I've been playing on ranked Dueling Book ladder. I think at the moment I'm like top 20 in the ladder rankings, and it's been performing great. The deck's phenomenal. It's had a great positive win rate. I've won the past, I think, 2 to 3 locals with the deck, so I have a good record with it, and I love how the deck has performed. And secondly, and more importantly, I'm going to now show you how to finally beat Nibiru with Ritual Beast. This is the comprehensive, in-depth guide of how to beat Nib. I recommend downloading these combos into your brain if you're a Ritual Beast player, because this is extremely relevant and Nib is everywhere in this format. I hope you find this video educational, entertaining, productive, and informative. If so, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel immensely. But I'm going to speed right into it. Here is my current list that I'm playing on Dueling Book rank ladder. I guess the things to note, I'm playing hand traps over board breakers because there are a lot of like FTK decks in the format, in the form of like Memento can make a board breaker, like destructive board. It can make you have Ritual Beast, obviously. You have Despia, Branded, Gimmick Puppet. You have a lot of decks that just like blow out your opponent that board breakers don't do much against, so I'm on hand traps. And the other card, which I personally kind of think is mandatory after the balance, is Corridor. And I hope that in these combos I'm going to show you, and the theory that I provide, that you'll agree with me. Other than that, let's just jump straight into the deck list. First, I'm going to be showing you the one Card Cannahawk combo I found that beats Nib. I haven't seen anyone else do this. This is sort of goo that I cooked up in the lab just by thinking. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to share with you my findings. So here we go. This is a one Card Cannahawk combo, which people traditionally have thought just loses to Nib. Everyone knows, yeah, Lara Canna, Lara Pengu, the 2-3 card combos. Yes, you can make the ulti guy Pelio, but one Card Cannahawk dies to Nib, right? Check this out. So we're going to start by normal summoning Cannahawk using the effect to banish Lara. And Lara here, usually you would summon a Tamer here to start looping Cannahawk, but if you want to play around Nib here, we're going to summon Pengu. Now we can use Pengu's effect to load another Lara in the graveyard for follow-up, but just in case our opponent does Nib us, we have an option to extend. Now we're going to go for the Flame Banshee, use the effect to search. Now yes, this does die to 1 Imperm, this does die to 1 Veiler, 1 Ash Blossom, but you've already checked for those hand traps. When you normal summon Cannahawk, if it doesn't get Impermed or Veiled, when you use Lara's effect in the banish pile to summon from the deck, if that doesn't get ashed, you've already checked for all those cards, so now the last thing to check for and to play around is Nibiru. So we're going to search Flag, use the effect here, and search for Corridor. This is why I love Corridor, and now we're going to actually make SP and use the effect to banish our Flag, just to recur it off Corridor in case later in the game we draw it and want to go into Protoss. Now we can summon Corridor, and now usually this is when your opponent's going to Nibiru you. But you're going to see very quickly it does literally nothing, because if they Nib, obviously, on the summon of Colossus, we can just tag them out, and then nothing happens. So people are usually going to Nib you right here before you summon Colossus, because then they don't really mind if these tag out and come back in the end phase, because at least there's no Colossus, right? So opponent goes ahead and drops Nibiru here. We can chain SP to tag out our Corridor and SP, and then after that we can just contact fuse the Lara we sent and the Cannahawk into Nochi Drago, and then just tag that out into a Cannahawk and just make Colossus anyway. And so the fact that Ritual Beast can make Colossus SP under Nibiru, I found was crazy, and it's something I started to do a lot more in my tournament games. And also now that you know your opponent has Nib, you can play around it for turn 3. This being 1900 is quite relevant because it's a pretty big body, so you'll be able to hopefully make like a Link 4 next turn with any other normal summon, and in general it's just great that this deck has an option to play around Nib and end on a pretty scary board. Bear in mind you have 4 of the cards in the hand, so this is pretty solid. But let's get into the more complicated combos. We have Lara Canna and any other Ritual Beast card. There's 28 Rit Beast cards in the deck. You're going to draw a third one. So this is, obviously we can't make Apo anymore, so you're going to make Ulti-Guy Pelio. I'm going to show you pretty much all the different branches that this combo can go in, whether you want to go for Colossus or Protoss, and I'll speak why I enjoy having both in the deck. I'm going to start by Lara Canna, Canna Banish Lara, not using the effect yet to summon from the deck to play around Nib. Loop Cannahawk here, and we're going to search here Old Lara. Now, if opponent drops Nib here, it does literally nothing, because we still have the contact fusion of Nochi Drago and the effect of this to summon from the deck, so we could just keep playing straight after that. Here we're going to use the effect of Cannahawk to banish Steeds to recur it off the Link 4 later in the turn. We're going to make Falco, use the effect to banish Cannahawk to normal Lara, and then Lara's going to bring back old Lara. Opponent has to drop Nib here, otherwise we do exactly this. And we're going to make Ulti Pelio. Now, if they do drop Nib before then, what we would just do is contact fuse into Nochi Drago, use Lara in the bin to summon Apelio. Apelio can banish Kimon Falco, and you're at the exact same spot. So we're going to use the effect of our Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara here, and that is going to summon out Lara Pengu. Pengu triggers here, and we're going to dump Apelio. Now we can contact fuse into Drago, use the effect of Drago to tag out into Falco, and then use Falco's effect to tag out into Cannahawk and, Apelio and Lara. And now we can start with the Nemesis combo. So this idea that like Nib beats this is just not real. It's very easy to play around Nib. So we can go for Flag here. Now, if you're versing, I'm going to take a moment to explain why I play Protoss and Corridor. Obviously, there's the one card combo I just showed, but like if you verse a deck like Tempai, for example, and you want to play around Nibiru, your Protoss cannot actually declare fire. You can't FTK the fire matchup, which kind of sucks. So if you want to respect Nib, but also try to FTK them, then the next best thing is to go for Colossus here. So here's how the line changes depending on what you search. If you search for, I don't know what I do here. Anyways, I just make SP here. SP banishes Banshee. Banshee summons itself back. And see how I have to now link all of these into the link 4. So if I were to summon Protoss versus Tempai, it's not going to get value. So if I know I'm playing versus Yubel, for example, then yeah, you can get Protoss and you just FTK the dark matchups. It's fine. So we go link 4 to add back the trap card. And then depending on what you search, you can summon Corridor here, shuffle back a resource, make Colossus, or you can summon Protoss by banishing 3 and FTK the dark matchup. So having the option to make Colossus versus a deck like Tempai, or Game 1 if you don't know what your opponent is on, or you can summon Protoss post side if you know you're against Yubel is also really good. So yeah, you can end on an Omni Negate plus Protoss, Link 4, and Steeds. And this is very good overall, and you also are you're in an all good position. Let's now show you what the Elder Lara Pengu variant is. Starts off the same. We're gonna normal, dump Lara, loop Cannahawk, search old Lara, just like we did last time. Pengu's going to dump now Cannahawk, and we're going to go ahead and make him on Falco. Same thing as last time. Banish the Cannahawk though this time to bring back Lara, and now we can go straight into our Ulti Pelio before we really start doing the important plays. So we're going to summon Apelio. Apelio is going to banish a free resource. And now we're going to contact fuse into Nochi Drago. Tag out Nochi Drago. I was supposed to summon Kimon Falco here, and then Kimon Falco tags out into these. So just pretend like this is in the extra deck. I just skipped the step. Use Cannahawk to banish Steeds like last time. Make the rank 4. Rank 4 searches Flag. And you can see it's the exact same as last time. You just recur a resource. You can search either Corridor or Protoss. Let's say in this case I search Corridor. You make SP to banish the Banshee. The Banshee summons itself back. Make the link 4, add back the trap, summon Corridor or Protoss, depending on whatever you want. And you can see it's the exact same thing. So Elder Canna, Elder Pengu can all beat Nib. But now it's time for the new technology, which is it turns out that Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara Cannahawk and Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara Pengu can also beat Nib with any other Ritual Beast card. So let's show these lines. Shoutouts to Shu. He really brought these to the community's attention. And so like this deck now has like so many hands where it can beat Nib. So we're going to start by why this combo is sick is it gives you an additional normal summon. So remember, this isn't in our actual normal summon. We actually have our normal one later. So we're going to go Cannahawk, banish Lara, summon Lara. And now we're not going to loop Cannahawk. We're just going to search. So we're going to search when by returning one Lara, both of the Laras actually. And now we're going to search when. So here we can contact fuse into Nochi by banishing the 2 SBTLs, and then we can tag out. This is supposed to be Ulti Cannahawk tagging out here. And so now our opponent has to drop Nibiru basically at this exact spot here, because we have a Tamer, a Beast, and a Ritual Beast Ulti monster. This is supposed to be Nochi Drago. I fix it in just a second, so don't worry. And if they nib us here, it does nothing, because remember, we still have our proper normal summon in the form of Wen, and then Wen can special summon Spiritual Beast Cannahawk, and we can just still play from there. So if they don't, we just drop Ulti Pelio, and now we're safe from Nib. So now we can use our actual normal summon Wen, summon Canna, Canna banish Pengu, loop Canna, summon back Pengu Wen, and we're going to search, in this case, another Cannahawk. We're going to use Pengu to go ahead and Foolish the Winder. We're going to make Kimon Falco. We're going to normal summon Cannahawk and banish the other, the Apelio in this case. So now we can go ahead and we can use, the effect of Kimon Falco to tag out into the Winder and the Apelio. And now we can start doing the Nemesis play. So it's the exact same, at this point it's all quite familiar, it's just the parts getting to this part can be a little bit different. I'll go for Flag here. Flag's going to search Corridor in this case. And at this point, the line is slightly different. So you can search Protos here, but you might need to play a card like Silver Hat Rabbit, which I've seen people doing. The Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara anti-Nib combos aren't as strong as the Elder ones, just because you're not really able to, like, if you go for Protos, you have to link it off and make something like Silver Hat Rabbit, then that means you have to play Azaroon, which I don't want to play. So this is a more of a anti-Nib board with a pure Ritual Beast end board, you'll see in a second here. So we link off our Flag and our Banshee here to make SP to banish the Banshee. This is a Pyro, Apelio, so it's all good. We still get the value there. And now we can go ahead and summon Corridor. So yeah, I make a note here that, like, some play Rabbit. Because if you summon Protos here, you kill the Darks and then your SP dies. So you might want to play Silver Hat Rabbit, but I don't like that card at all. So yes, we're going to summon out our Banshee here. And now we can go into our Link 4, use the effect to add back any Tamer here, normal summon it, make Cannahawk, and search Steeds. Or, another thing you can do is, let's say if our opponent had dropped Nibiru earlier on in the turn and we had no more Ritual Beast cards left in the hand, well, the Ulti-Guy Apelio at that point has served its purpose, and it's just a body sitting there. Like, there's no point leaving it there if we have no additional Ritual Beast cards to negate. So you can actually just link it off if you've used, if opponent dropped Nibiru at some point and you had to negate it. And instead, we can just link off the Guy Apelio, go for SP, banish the Banshee, summon it back, and leave the Corridor. And we can add back Lara, normal summon it, make ulti Cannahawk just like we did, except this time we gotta keep the Corridor and turn that into Colossus. So it's all just dependent on, like, what your opponent does. I'm gonna show you the SBTL plus Pengu line. This one is slightly worse than the Cannahawk version because it does have one very specific choke point, but your opponent really has to be, like, on top of things to catch it. So you start by, same thing, Lara to extra normal summon, use Pengu to banish Cannahawk, Contact Fuse the 2 in the grave to summon Nochi, SBTL to summon Elder in this case, and we're going to loop Cannahawk for these two names, and we're going to search here, Lara. Now, if your opponent nibs exactly right here on resolution, it's a bit tough, admittedly, which is why I said the other version is a little bit better, but again, your opponent has to nib so weirdly, precisely at this spot, which 99% of them won't, because they're just going to wait for the Protos to hit the board, which they'll get punished if they do that. So we can use Cannahawk here on res if they don't nib to banish Winder, make Ulti-Guy Apelio. Remember, we haven't used our proper normal summon, so we can normal summon Lara, bring back the Pengu. Pengu triggers to dump Apelio. And just like last time, we're going to loop Cannahawk and search a second Spiritual Beast Cannahawk. Make the Kimon Falco, banish the Apelio, normal summon the Cannahawk, banish the last Tamer in our deck, which is Wen. Tag out into Wen Apelio. Apelio, banish the Lara, and now we do the same part I'm sure you're used to. Summon Flag, recur a resource, and like I said, you can play Silver Hat Rabbit and Protos in this spot, but Corridor is important in my opinion here. It's just a better card, less of a brick. Make SP banishes the Banshee, summon it back, make the Link 4 adds back Cannahawk. You can banish anything you want, it's not really important. And now you send 2 to the grave to search Steeds. So there you go. Again, like I said with the last combo, if you've negated Nibiru and you have no other additional Ritual Beast cards in the hand, then this is doing nothing. You can just link it off and leave the Corridor on the board and turn that into a Colossus instead to get value still out of your bodies. So this idea that Nib beats Ritual Beast is not true, and I hope that these replays were able to prove that to you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if it was a bit quick. I had to keep things quick, otherwise this video would take forever. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.